makes all things new, all things new. So come.
Andrew Peterson, it was a wonderful, wonderful night.
Thank you.
You felt okay?
Yeah, I felt great. It was fun.
Yeah. Some short questions. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your connection to Sweden?
Sure.
Connection.
Yeah. Well, I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and I've been playing music for a while. And I grew up knowing that Peterson was a Swedish name.
Yeah.
And I asked my dad about it. My dad told me that his grandfather actually immigrated to the United States, to Boston, from a town called Kalmar. Mm-hmm. And so the first time I came to Sweden, I was so excited because I thought, you know, most people in the U.S. don't know their roots. You know, their family tree is really confusing. So I felt like it was a great gift that I actually was able to trace the country that my great grandfather was from. So it was been a thrill. And this trip, I actually got to do a concert in Kalmar.
In Kalmar.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You're a storyteller. Your lyrics often stories. How come?
Well, I think everybody loves stories. I think that there's a sense in which everybody who walks into a movie theater is looking for the gospel. Mm-hmm. That you know, when I started to understand that the Bible wasn't just a collection of random books, you know, thrown together in history, and it's not just a bunch of verses, but that it is kind of those things, but it's also this epic tale. It's this accounting of the story that God is telling with history. So I think stories are, in some ways, at the heart of who we are. You know, of course, Jesus used parables, but I remember as a kid always loving books that told stories. I loved when my dad would be preaching, and he would be talking about, it would all be exposition about some scripture, but then he would say, listen to this story, and everybody would listen. And so I was very grateful to find that my love of music and my love of story could kind of be married to each other with the kind of music that I get to do.
But Jesus makes all things new. Dawn is upon you, rise up, or you sleeper awake.
We were in the studio about 3 years ago. Easter was coming, and I didn't want Easter to sneak up on me like it usually does. Most of the time I find myself on Good Friday realizing that I haven't stopped to really think about it. And so a few years ago, in order to counteract that, I starting with Palm Sunday, every night that week I wanted to stay up a few extra hours and read through the Gospels and remind myself what was happening each day of the week, and then write about it. And it was great for me. It prepared my heart for Sunday morning in a beautiful way. But in the middle of it, somebody commented on my website after they read one of the writings, "Thank you for writing these resurrection letters." Oh. And I thought, that sounds like an album title. And so I wrote it down, and then 2 years later when we went into the studio, I looked, and all of the songs that I'd written over the previous year or two had the theme of resurrection in them somewhere. It wasn't overriding, but it was there. And so I thought, good, we can call the album Resurrection Letters, because these are songs all about our lives in the wake of the resurrection. But then, in the middle of making the album, I thought, maybe this is only half the story. Maybe we need to go back and write some songs that are specifically Easter songs. And that will be volume 1. This will be volume 2.
And
so we just got it.
When?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying really hard to take my time with it. It may take 20 years. I hope it doesn't. But I don't want to rush it. I feel like it's the story. There's nothing higher that I could use my gifts for than to tell that story. And so I want to be careful.
And I have lied to everyone who trusts me, and I have tried to fall when I could stand, and I have only loved the ones who love me. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna. See the long-awaited King come to set his people free. We cry, Hosanna. Won't you tear the temple down, raise it up on holy ground. Hosanna, Hosanna. And
you know, for me, reading my Bible and going to Sunday school and to church was kind of like brushing my teeth. Like, I didn't like it, but my parents made me do it because they knew it was good for me, you know. So I was kind of in many ways your classic preacher's kid. But the older I got, you know, they're planting seeds, you know, those seeds are growing. So I went to a Bible college, and it was a 4-year college, and I got a Bible degree there. And that was when I first started writing songs. It was while I was in college. So the Scripture has always been around, and I kind of think of it as, you know, the Bible and the Bible stories. Like, it's not like I'm some great Bible scholar. It's just that it's always been around me. So I feel like it's kind of a part of my creative DNA, sort of.
Thank you so much for coming to Sweden. Will you come back?
Oh, I sure hope so. Yes.
We welcome you back, Andrew.